The Shapwick Monster. In every clime and country known, 'tis held men most esteem their own. Each county, town, and parish too still hold tenacious to this view. Where'er we go, where'er we roam, the mind still fondly turns to home. And though when jokes we tell of others, there's scarce a man his laugh who smothers against our birth, but be the laugh, we think the joke's too bad by half. Forgetting unto others do as you would have them do to you. Thus of the parish where befell the tale I'm about to tell. I speak of crabs. They straight grow crabbed, and foam at mouth like a dog that's rabid. Strange to take umbrage at a word more than a century on record made every bumpkin run away. No joking matter then, but rather a terror 'twas to son and father. But brevity is the soul of wit. Drop we our moralizing fit. Against others' faults no more we'll rail, but tell our plain unvarnished tale. Once on a time, some years ago, a fishmonger it happened so his fish to sell o'er common wide was forced against his will to ride. For Blandford folk, so says my tale, he had like his fish found rather scaly, and trotting on by fortune crossed, one of his finest crabs he lost. This happened on the road to Bere near Shapwick town in Dorsetshire. 'Twas eve, the sun was going down, when from his work a country clown trudging along in simple nature by chance trod on the crawling creature. He found it more with sudden start, against his bosom bumped his heart, whilst panic fear assailed his mind. Sideways, like crab, he crawled behind, and horror struck in every feature, he gaped upon the wondrous creature. So strange the monster did appear, he thought the devil himself was there. His hair erect stood bolt upright, as if he'd really seen a sprite. He stood and viewed it at a distance, then thought he'd hasten for assistance. I'll run, quoth he, to Shapwick town, and there I'll make the wonder known. Away he ran, and one by one he told them, every mother's son, the horrid sight that he'd seen, crawling upon the common green. Enough, the country all did hie the hideous monster to decry. With stick and stone the silly elves for their defence did arm themselves, and confident in all their strength, the monster went to find at length. But when the place in sight appears, the scene of all poor Bumpkin's fears, old Hobson, who before had found him, cried, "There, that's he! Let's all surround him, for he's as swift of foot, I'm sure. He's got a dozen legs or more, with hooked claws upon his feet all, and pincers like a girt black beetle." The crab a thymy bank had found, and crawling on the fragrant ground still met their fearful eyes' regards, though distance at least 50 yards. Then each to other of them swore they'd never seen the like before. At length out spoke the farmer John, "Neighbours, I never looked upon so strange a sight as this afore, and hope I never may no more. Nobody knows from whence he came, and not a soul of us knows his name. Now, Shepherd Rowe is the likeliest man to tell his name, if any can. In Shapwick parish there can't be a cuter man than he can be. But how to get him, there's my fears, for he's been bedridden now 6 years." However, to his house they went, and told the sage their full intent, hoping their suit he'd not deny, but go to the monster to descry. The shepherd, struck with vast surprise, was first unwilling to arise, but the recital of their fear at length so wondrous did appear, that he upon their earnest prayer consented to be carried there. But of the joke now comes the marrow. They wheeled him there in a wheelbarrow. Such was the couch procured in haste. Coaches in Shapwick ain't the taste. And now a careful driver found, for steady wheeling high renowned. They in the barrow placed the sage, whose head was silvered o'er with age. And on they went, with all the town encircling the poor shepherd round. But when the crab the shepherd saw, each crooked leg, each ponderous claw, near 30 yards from where it stood, the sweat of fear his face bedewed. And knowing that he could not fly, he feared the man might wheel too nigh, and roared aloud, half choked with cough, "Oh, 'tis a land monster, wheel me off!" And terror-struck exclaimed again, wheel off, or we're all dead men." Just at that time, the man came back who lost the crab from his pack. He saw the crab, you will not ask it, seized it, flung it in his basket. Amazement seized the admiring crowd, who thus their fears expressed aloud. "Oh, take care, he'll bite! You've caught the devil!" "Pooh, pooh," replied the man, quite civil. "If devil he is, as I'm a sinner, I'll eat the devil for my dinner." But when they all perceived the man feared not the monster, each one ran in haste the wondrous sight to view, asked how he risked to catch it too. The fishmonger with wide opening eyes expressed his sovereign surprise, as with a sneer he thus replies, "You silly fools, can it be true, a fish so common you don't know? This is a crab caught in the sea. This morning it was lost by me. So many fools upon the green at one time sure was never seen." Confounded, they on each did look, and rapidly the down forsook, leaving the fishmonger the pleasure of laughing at them in his leisure. But ever since, the Shapwick folk by no means relish this same joke. Like an old sore under scab, they hate the very name of crab, and each his coat is sure to doff at those emphatic words, "Wheel me off!" If one but speaks them as he passes, 'tis 10 to 1 he's mobbed by asses. For ignorant fools all banks Mappick, you'll find none can compete with Shapwick.